Hello and welcome back to Shelf Center. This is Bryce. Thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. If this is something you end up enjoying, you never know, it could happen. Well, I've got my usual, my yearly, my traditional list that I hope to read for next year. This mood reader's got to be kept in line to some degree, or else nothing ends up moving forward in all the series that I want to keep reading. And we have total disaster. I have to reread I just don't have time to reread every single thing. So this is my attempt to be able to focus my mood reader self. Not that I always follow these, and not that I'm very successful, though I have to say this last year I did okay. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty dang good, and I'm happy with that. So I like to keep doing this just to, if I'm looking for something that I've now derailed my TBR for the year, I like to always be able to go back to this list that I keep on Goodreads as here's what's in order. So anyway, let's jump into my list of my TBR for the year of 2025. These are my top priority books. It's not necessarily everything that I'm going to read. I've actually tried to keep these lists shorter than longer because of the fact that I do know myself. To thine own self be true, said Polonius, right? I know myself. I know how easy I get distracted by the newest and shiniest thing that's going on in booktube or wherever. And so this isn't a complete list of all the books. I typically read about 50 to 60 books a year, and so but this is and this will be about 25-ish. Again, probably too much for a mood reader to keep on a list, but these are, again, my focuses to try to kind of contain my mood reader tendencies here. All right, let's jump into the first book that I hope to get to, and that's going to be Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. Let's be honest, I'm probably not going to read this ahead of anyone, so I'm going to take my time and I'm going to enjoy it. I did just finish Rhythm of War. I did find out I was going to jump right into this, but my son grabbed it first, and I felt terrible. I even feel terrible just bringing this to be able to film a video, because I'm depriving my son of this for the moment to be able to film this video when he can't be reading it, and he's loving it so far. So I'm letting him do it. It's probably good for me because I do like breaks, and these books are so huge. I mean, they just take so much to get through, even if you're blazing through them, which, I'll be honest, Rhythm of War was not my fastest read in the Stormlight Archive. But anyway, so I'm hoping to get to this soon because there's a reason I did all my reading catch up for the Stormlight Archive, and it's because of this book. So I do plan on getting to it very soon. And this is a series I probably should have finished by now because I did get this book as a gift from last year around Christmas time. Well, around my birthday because it's in December. System Collapse by Martha Wells. It's not even long. And I would like to finish the Murderbot Diaries because I absolutely love them. Just, again, got sidetracked. The problem with BookTube is that you find all the greatest books ever. And it's hard not to just want to read what everybody else is reading so you can discuss them all. Or get sucked into a read-along or read-a-thon or whatever it may be. And so I am totally guilty of being pulled this way and that. Peer pressure gets me. It's a real thing. And so I would like to focus, though, and finish. All right, 3 through 6 here, and it could get more, but at least for now, 3 through 6 of my list, books 3 through 6. Dungeon Crawler Carl related. I'm just about to finish book 3, so this is book 1, obviously. But book 4, The Gate of the Feral Gods by Matt Dinniman. That's number 3 on my list. Book 5, The Butcher's Masquerade. Book 6, The Eye of the Bedlam Bride. And then This Inevitable Ruin I would like to read. We'll see. He's pretty good about pumping books out. And I do understand that book 8 is going to, at least according to the author, be easier than book 7. So we may see it this next year. I may have to put that on my anticipated books list, just as a maybe. It's less of a maybe than Winds of Winter, more of a possibility than most, I would say. I've been an addict of Dungeon Crawler Carl as soon as I read the first book. Well, as soon as I read, the first like 20 pages of the first book. sucked me right in. I'm excited to read the rest of that. And now I have credits on Audible. All right, this was a read-along that I did to be able to discuss this on Technically Mexican's channel. We did Hyperion and then the Fall of Hyperion, and now I don't think there's any plans really to do more discussions on the rest of the tetralogy, but I do plan on reading them Endymion and then the Rise of Endymion. I would like to finish it because those were rereads for Hyperion and Fall of Hyperion for me, and I'd like to, while they're still fresh, I would like to keep going and finish it, as I did not do the first time I read through the series. Book 2 was so different than book 1 that it like threw me off enough to go, look, I'm gonna take a break. And now my break's been like, I don't know, 7 years or something. So I reread, now I'm ready to finish. All right, speaking of series, I wanted to keep going on. I absolutely loved Assassin's Apprentice and that first series, the first trilogy. I loved even more the Live Ship Traders, and so it's about time that I get on to the Tawny Man. So Tawny Man, Fool's Errand, book 1, Golden Fool, book 2, and then Fool's Fate, book 3. I definitely need to catch up on my Robin Hobb. Absolutely love Robin Hobb. What a wonderful author. Just such good characterization. Makes you fall in love, absolutely. Then another series that I've been in, this is where I'm saying the focus of my list tends to be keep me focused on the series that I start, okay? So I did start the first book in the Legends of the First Empire by Michael J. Sullivan. That is Age of Myth. I do plan on this month finishing Age of Swords. That is my goal. So that'll be book number 2, but then I want to read books 3, 4, 5, and 6 in this upcoming year. So we've got Age of War, Age of Legend, Age of Death, and Age of Empire with a Y. And so anyway, I'm very much looking forward to that. Wanted to make that a priority. I love Michael J. Sullivan, absolutely great author. All right, I have a couple of channel viewers that have requested that I read this series. I finally started it this last year, and I don't want to get behind or anything or lose the plot or lose any have memory issues with it. So I'm going to focus here and I'm going to read The Faithful and the Fallen, books 2, 3, and 4. Those are on my list for next year by John Gwynne. That's Valor, then Ruin, and Wrath. I did read Malice this last year and it was excellent. It was so good. It's everything that everybody's been saying, which is that it's amazing. And so I'm very much excited to read me some Faithful and the Fallen, and then that's just the first tetralogy in the series. There's more. And I assume I'll be going to those eventually, but they can't be on my list yet. And here's one that I've gotten a little far away from, and I am getting a little concerned that I might have to do a reread, but we'll see. I did absolutely love book 1 in the Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu, and so The Grace of Kings. And so it's time to read books 2, 3, and 4. I am very much excited for book 2. As I understand, people that have read the series, book 2, they say is like one of the best books ever written. So anyway, I'm so excited for The Wall of Storms. That's book 2, The Veiled Throne, and then Speaking Bones. So very excited to get back into that series. It's been a little bit long though, so I'm a little concerned, but I am very much excited for it. All right, then I actually did make some progress in the series last year because this series was on my list last year, and this time I'm gonna actually finish it. This book was also on my list last year to finish, but we made some forward progress, so that was good, but mostly harmless. The 5th book of 3 in the Hitchhiker's Guide series, so I'm very excited to finish that. I will have finished the 5 books of 3. There are more, like Owen Kofer wrote and another thing, so I'm excited to I have that. I'll probably read that eventually, but want to make sure focus here and get that one done. All right, this one's my biggest embarrassment. I let myself get away from this, and it's been on my list now. This will be like 3 years in a row, so this is super bad. And especially because this is my all-time favorite series of all time. I need to actually move forward. I've been watching people finishing the series who started way after me, and I'm going, what is my problem? But this is my biggest embarrassment here, a sale. We're going to read it, and we're going to read it earlier in the year, not saving it till the end. But I am so excited to read Ian Cameron Esselmont. This is the 6th and final book of the Malazan Empire series. Esselmont has been trucking away, writing more and more books, and so I'm excited to read his follow-up series, which I haven't gotten to get to more Malazan. I just keep I always just want, especially my favorite books, to just be read in that perfect time when I could just have those moments to just read through a whole book in like a day or two, and I just somehow don't ever find that, as frustrating as that is for me. But this is one I really want to get to ASAP. And always remember that I can always reread, you know? All right, this was a series on my list I wanted to keep making progress in last year that I did not get to. I totally failed. So we're getting to failures over and over again here. But this is going to be The Weird Sisters, or just Weird Sisters as some call it, which is the title, by Terry Pratchett. It is the 6th Discworld book. I have already read the 7th, so this will get me up to have read 7 overall, even though it's the 6th. I have been trying mostly to stay with publication order, but Pyramids I did read along with a group, and so that's why that jumped ahead a little bit, but I've been slacking in my Terry Pratchett, so I'm excited to read some more, but man, I've been slacking in that series. And then finally, this is definitely one I wanted to read because it is coming out as the latest in a series that I just absolutely love. This is going to be Threshold by Will White. It is a collection of short stories from the Cradle series. Books 1 through 12 have already come out. I read those. I believe I finished them last year. Excellent, excellent series. Absolutely love it. And I gotta read some more. So those are my main focus for the next year. I hope, again, it's just a good kind of litmus test as to how I'm doing. I think I was about like 70 to 80% I read of my last year's list, which isn't too bad. I usually keep pretty focused. I don't see myself having too much of a problem with some of these, and it's just, I want to read all of them, frankly, and that's the biggest problem. I know I'm going to love all of them, frankly, and the problem is just that some new and shiny thing comes in. I do always like to take breaks in between books just so I don't feel so trapped in them and so much like, I don't know, this is a weird feeling that I get, and I know nobody else feels this way, but there's just so much, and I'm so overwhelmed all the time with all the books that I want to read at any given moment that I call my TBR, Mount TBR, because that's what it is. And that's the problem, is that I'm constantly stressed out about reading the next thing. And so that was why I think it was a good thing to take a break between Rhythm of War and Wind and Truth, just for the fact that I think I'm going to like Wind and Truth that much better by just giving myself a little bit of a break. Not enough to have to reread anything. So that's my goal here. So thank you so much for stopping by. Let me know down in the comments below, what are you reading this next year? What are your priorities? What should be my priorities? And what am I missing? So thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.